Namaste. I'm Kamlesh Kapoor, and this is one of the most important lessons, lesson 15 to Introduction to Dharma. As you will recall, in the previous lessons, we have been talking about various aspects of the material world, our universe, our planet, Prakriti, and the nature of the cosmic reality, who the creator is, and so many different aspects of Hindu Dharma. Dharma, as I explained before, is a science. We follow the nature, that is Dharma. And nature itself, the cosmic reality, the cycles, the time, place, relationship, all of these are nothing but science. It is philosophy, physics, psychology. Now we are on the part where a little bit of mind and psychological aspects of the self itself are discussed. So this is an inquiry into the self. Let us see how Hindu philosophy explains it. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says there are 8 elements to the material energy. What is material energy? All these plants and we human beings and other species, they're all material, manifestation of material energy. And those 5 elements we discussed, those were space, air, fire, water, and gross matter, Prithvi. And these same 5 elements, they create a human being or any type of life. There is a skeletal gross matter, there is air, which is prana, there is space, which is consciousness, there is water, the circulatory system, and all the other fluids. And this way, and Agni is metabolism, all the organs which create hormones and burn the food into energy, metabolism. So these are 5 elements. Now, what are the other 3 elements which make human beings go for disaster or enlightenment? And those 3 are mind, intelligence, and ego. And you will see, if you study humanity at the juncture where we are today, you will see that we are more on the path of disaster. Killing each other is disaster. And what causes that? It is caused by, all this turmoil is caused by ego for world leadership. We, ours, me, mine. We are supreme. So, master of everything. The dreams of being world leader, Russia or America or this or that, the most prominent person in the community, that also is ego. Mind is what takes the perceptions, sensory perceptions, and create the thought process. And according to our ability to process those sensations and perceptions, we create our own thoughts, mindset, and attitudes, how we react to outer reality. So now we say we are 8 elements, the 5 physical elements, and 3 characteristics of the mind, intelligence, and the third one was ego. And ego, these are filters. When the thought comes in, ego is a filter. You see, the good, if there is no ego, person is simple and humble, it translates the reality in a slightly different way and reacts in different way. And if a person is greedy and egotistic and arrogant, then the same reality has not changed. It is transformed into different kind of attitudes and reaction. And this particular point is extremely important in Hindu Dharma, because Dharma itself is not going to a prayer meeting or listening to discourses or sermons and absolving ourselves of sin by just attending the sermons. It is not that kind of thing. Dharma is self-improvement. We are evolving, and our evolution should be not in a downward spiral, but in an upward spiral. Now, there is inside Chetna, consciousness, Chitta, we call it. And loosely translated, they make it soul. But soul and spirit have very different connotations according to the dictionary and the way they are understood by other people. Atma is a unique idea, and that cannot be translatable. So let us include Atma into the Webster dictionary. I'm sure there won't be any problem of an additional word in the dictionary. So now we are talking about that within us is the Atma, which is telling us, judging, not judging, but witnessing what we are doing and making us conscious of what we are doing wrong or right and where we are going. Atma lives within three unified parts of the body. In the daytime, we are interacting with material reality and gross matter. So that is called sthul sharira. The body is in interactive position in the waking time, and that is material body. When we are sleeping, there is a deep sleep. Now, if you say, what did Atma see or not see, it will say, I do not know. A person you ask in the morning, what did you see during the sleep? The person will say, I do not know. Because at that particular, during deep sleep, a person is not aware of anything. Now there is a dream state which is called suksham sharira. Suksham means subtle body. During the dreams, all the inner desires, unfulfilled desires, frustrations, fears, notions of terror, anxiety, all of these interact in a sort of drama in our mind, which is called dream state. So in the dream state, the reality is very different. And if you ever analyze the dreams, the most vivid dream, you will see that your own clothes and your own face is not visible. You cannot see that. Why? Because Atma is seeing the drama, right? Atma, you yourself are witnessing something. Outside there are lions, or there are a den of tigers, and that you are on the water and there's no way to go anywhere, any place. These dreams, they have connotations. They play on your mind and create a drama in which you never see your own self. You are aware that you are there, but you are not seeing your clothes, your face. You see everybody else's face. So Atma lives in three unified parts of the body. It also goes through three stages each day. So these are the same three stages. It is a dream state, and it is suksham, and it is sthul. In other words, the three unified parts are the karnam sharira. Karnam sharira is where the action and reactions are actually taking place during the daytime. Somebody saying something, somebody listening to something, you are teaching or you are sitting and doing something, and you are reacting to the outer manifestation of the divine creation, and that is Karnam Shrira. Most of the time, our focus is that we should be minding our own karmas, and we'll come back to that a little later. So, recognizing our relation to the Creator. We are not isolated, that there are not a super category, God in heaven, and we here sinners. That is not so. We realize that the divine spark, which sustains and enlightens the whole universe, and makes it aware and conscious and interconnected and interdependent, that little spark is within us also. So we say aham brahmasmi, which means I am verily divine. In simple words, the divine spark which is making the whole prakriti go around, evolve, that is within us also. So the self acts out of one or three combinations, one or two or three main qualities. Some people act in a very selfless way. That is the mode of goodness. They are self-sacrificing, they are loving, they do not desire anything, their needs are simple, and they are honest and lead a dharmic life. They are living in the mode of sattva. Then there are people who are full of energy, action, initiative, and they are working for this reason, this motivation, and they are reacting and acting. There's a passion in everything, intensity in everything, feelings. This is knowingly. It's not that they are not aware. They are not fools. They are doing something in an active kind of way, not kind of detached way. They are involved in action passionately, intensely, and energetically. So, acting out of ignorance and illusion, now that is the third type of way of relating to the world. Out of ignorance, you do not know the reality, but you are boasting about it. And ignorance also means the person who is ignorant would think that I know everything and would start an argument. An illusion. This illusion is that God is somewhere else, or the divine is somewhere else, and I have to, I am not part of that divine. So we call it Jiva, entity of the self, Jiva, and Brahma. They are two separate entities, and we can do whatever we feel like doing because we are meant to do things. These people act out of ignorance and illusion, and they act out in a dangerous way and bring disasters to the humanity. Now, how do we recognize that the person is in a sattva mode or in a rajas mode? And usually, for the first, most people, they are combination of the first one. They try to be honest, they try to do their duties to the best of their capacity and knowledge, and they do it in a true, sincere way. Like the mother is raising the child, the father is supporting the family, or the teacher is imparting knowledge by setting good examples. This is Sattva mode, but the action is also there. And sense of fulfillment that I performed this action today, that is also there. So according to Manu Smriti, and this is also mentioned in Yajurveda, there are 10 qualities that a person with purely Sattva mode will reveal, manifest. You see, when he's doing things or acting in a way or living in a way, he will be truthful. He will emphasize that there should be honesty, truthfulness, and cleanliness. Cleanliness is very important in Hindu Dharma. Without that, that is actually the first step. Once the mind is cleaned and the body is clean, then the next thing starts. So cleanliness. And then there is austerity, which means a little bit of detachment, controlling your desires, not running after wants, just fulfilling our needs. That is called austerity. Then there is control of senses. You see, control of senses is that do not see negative things, because they will drag you down, cause a feeling of negativity and depression. So therefore, just control your senses, see the good in everything. Then there is control of mind. See, the whole thing is different. Senses bring the perceptions, but the mind is what creates and processes it, and then, creates a thought. So absorbs it. So control of mind. Now there is acquisition of knowledge. So in the school systems all over the world, knowledge is acquired. Knowledge is information, this subject, that subject, this aspect of life, that aspect of life, about the body, about how to cure it, how to prevent disease, how to understand and cure people's mental problems. All of these, how to teach. All of these this information is acquiring knowledge so that we can act in a responsible way and survive. And then is gaining wisdom, attainment of wisdom. Now this is, see how different the two are. Acquiring knowledge is not enough. You will do everything that is needed to be done to survive and to meet your demands. But wisdom comes with experience, and wisdom comes when you can discriminate between what is right and what is wrong. So it is ultimately the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Some people are very well educated in the sense that they have done masters and PhDs and, you name it. But at the end of the day, if they are not able to control their thoughts, and they are not able to subjugate, enslave their negativity, anger, and all of these things, then they are not acting as a wise person. So these two, whoever was the rishi who thought of these things, must have been extremely intelligent person and visionary, because he distinguished between collecting information is not equal to being wise. Then there is forgiveness. And then there is charity and purity of thought, action, and speech, which is, again, a positive quality. So these are the 10 ways in which you can judge if a person is acting in the Sattva mode. And then there are Hindu beliefs, which are related to the self in the sense that our parameters of behavior and social responsibilities, they emanate from a certain belief system. And what is the belief? We believe that there are 4 goals of life, that we go along the natural law and don't violate it or disturb it. and we earn wealth to fulfill our desires and fulfill our family's desires, needs, not desires, needs. And that is calm. So fulfilling desires is calm. Earning wealth is earth. Earth is literally wealth. And righteous conduct is dharma. And then getting rid of, liberating your mind and your whole system, thoughts from all the negative feelings like fear, anger, greed, anxiety. That is called moksha. Moksha is a very, its perception is very wrong. People think moksha means that after death, we are never reborn. That is liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Yes, that too is one aspect of moksha. But moksha literally means that while we are alive, we should be free from negativity. Only then we can seek bliss and happiness. So, as I explained in the last slide, that there are 10 signs of a liberated person. And more than anything, what is the goal? What is it that the self desires in the most natural way? Not in a cultivated, like it is not the demand of the culture or demand of the training or society, what it expects from you. It is what do you expect from yourself. And that is the self wants peace and happiness. So Hindu Dharma stresses these needs, and these aspirations are really, really uplifting. And our aspirations, Hindu aspirations, are give free play to everybody's bodies, to my body, to everybody's body. Give wide space for their homes. Give full scope to their lives so that they can expand and achieve wisdom and enlightenment. So the most desired state of mind is equanimity, and that means that one should be calm and objective in all situations. In other words, ananda, bliss, is the central point, which is the aim of our inner desire, what we want to be happy and have a feeling of ananda, bliss. So we Hindus believe that we emanate, come out of bliss, and we sustain in bliss. And that is obvious. When we talk about wars and violence, we call them tragedies and disasters. We don't call them blissful. On the other hand, the birth of a child, the celebrations, this is auspicious. It gives us a feeling of bliss. So bliss is the actual word in Hindi, and Sanskrit is ananda, anandamaya. That is our ultimate goal, enlightenment and seeking bliss. A Hindu thus seeks space, width, and release from anguish and conflict. Together, these are termed as moksha while we are alive. And two important prayers for Hindus are prayers for enlightenment, which they say in the morning, and then there is a prayer which is called Shantipat, seeking the bliss. And in a later chapter, a later lesson, we are going to be talking about Gayatri Mantra, some of the important chants and hymns that we sing every day, in the morning and evening and all day long. So we are not going to explain this here because that will be a lesson by itself. So Hindus pray for everyone's well-being because The central point is, if I am not unhappy, I am sullen, I am gloomy, I am angry with the world, and I'm reacting greedily or angrily with everybody. Somebody opens a mouth and you are ready to slap the person. This kind of thing is not everybody's well-being, for everybody's well-being. Certainly it is not for my well-being, that if I am not mentally healthy and happy, in a blissful, liberated kind of way, self-satisfied and contented, then there is no craving. And then I want to see everybody else also. I exhume that kind of vibration of happiness. So we believe that if one has to be happy, others also have to be happy. People can be happy not living amidst disasters and tragedies. People are happy when the other people are happy. So our prayer is, and I'll tell you, because all these lyrics are sung in a certain way. And I may not be perfect in saying this, but this is how it is chanted. Sarvesham swasti bhavatu. Sarvesham shanti bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Now, what does that mean? Let everybody be at all times healthy. Swasti. The rest is the same. Sarvesham means everybody. Bhavatu means may be. So the key words, all the words are the same, except the middle part where what bhavatu? What happens? So Sarvesham swasti. That means healthy, well-being. Shanti is peace. By this time, this is the most important point that every person learning about Dharma or Hindu Dharma should be aware of this word, Shanti. And then Purnam is complete, which means perfect. Let everybody be perfect. Okay. So let everybody be auspicious to each other. It is not enough that I am doing good for myself, that others are also gaining from that blissful activity. Mangalam bhavatu. So we are generating those vibrations in a positive way. Many people in the West, they promote all kind of misperceptions and myths. They think Hindus are mendicants. Mendicants means wandering around, otherworldly, fatalist. They are poor, and therefore, and you see, not only there is a vague general assumption, there is also a conclusion that because of the above cultural or religious handicaps, they are poor and they are backward. Total nonsense. Actually, it is the opposite of it. And I'm just, I came across this very beautiful quote, Arabinda Ghosh. He was a renunciate and of the last century, and very his philosophy, books on philosophy and on Bhagavad Gita, they are pretty complex. But some of the summation are very simple. For example, he says our ideal is not the spirituality that withdraws from life. We are not mendicants, renunciates, or outwardly, but the conquest of life by the power of the spirit, by the power of the mind, intelligence, and chetana, awareness. So that is the, recently, somebody added another derogatory label tag. And that was that Hindus are also cannibals. Now, sheer nonsense of it. A country which is 80% vegetarian, and they do not kill animals, not even ants. At every meal, they separate 5 different small little plates for different other jivas. And this is still happening. At lunchtime, from your plate, you take out a little bit for the birds, a little bit for the ants, a little bit for the cows, a little bit for the beggars, and like that, 5 different. In other words, I'm sharing things with everybody. How people like that are cannibals who will give, and every home they have one bowl of flour or rice or some other legumes, protein-rich food, which is that if a beggar comes, somebody who is not as advantaged as we are ready to give him that. So once that bowl is emptied, then we get another bowl. So such is the spirit of giving and sharing, considering that anybody who knocks at your door, he is your kind of guest and you help him. So Hindus believe that karmas are in their own hands, in their own hands. If they act wisely, that means they are well-read. If they are musical, that means they are talented and gifted. If they are skillful, that means they worked hard and learned skills. And ultimately, the divine itself is the shaker of the hand. So destiny is in our hands. So there is a daily prayer. In the morning, people they get up, and as they open their eyes, they look up at their hands. And they say, Karagre vasate Lakshmi. Lakshmi is wealth. At the tip of your fingers are the skills with which you make money or earn wealth. Kar madhe Saraswati. In the middle of the hands, you hold the book or the scrolls. In those days, there were scrolls of knowledge folded round and round. So, Kar madhe Saraswati. You hold the veena or you hold the sitar or musical instrument in the hands like this. So, Kar agre vasate Lakshmi, wealth, kar madhe Saraswati. Kar mule, this is the base of the hand. Kar mule tu Govinda. So the shaker of this hand is Govind, the divine creator. And we say, Suprabhatam Kardarshanam. Look at your hands in the morning and think what these can accomplish. So I gave you the information in the translation. In my fingers are the skills by using which I earn wealth. Where Lakshmi resides, in the middle of my hand is Devi Saraswati. I hold books and scrolls and musical instruments, and the mover of the hand is Govinda himself. In other words, Govinda, the divine, inspires learning and acquisition of knowledge and skills. Therefore, every morning, every good morning, look at your hands. Suprabhatam Kardarshana. So, we have those categories like people who are, again, those who are living in the mode of sattva, they are called devas. And those who ignore dharma, and vandalize nature and deforestation, continue doing deforestation, polluting water, they are called asuras. In other words, that is adharma. Violating the ecological balance is adharma. It is the people who are not devas, but they are asuras, ignorant, adharmic. Who is a Rakshas? Now, this is a separate category. Those who destroy. A dharmic person destroys the nature, whereas Rakshas destroys humanity. So, with the huge army, the moment you use the nuclear weapon, and in 3 minutes, everybody is dead, maimed, or disfigured, charred, and the whole earth is full of radiation, then that means we are Rakshasa. So you see, we don't have the two categories, the virtuous people going to heaven and sinners who are going to, or blasphemy, sacrilege. Those categories are not there. Simply, and we know that all three categories are there. Not everybody is good, not everybody is deva, not everybody is in the sattva mode, not everybody is Rakshas. But the more people tend towards not caring for humanity, the more they are likely to take humanity on a downward spiral. Now, devas and asuras are within us also. There is constantly a battle that if I acquire this, it will benefit me, satisfy me. And then there is opposing force which says that you can do without it, use the money for some decent cause. So this type of dilemma or conflict is part of living and thinking. So devas and asuras are not just outside, you can recognize, they are within us also. And conflict between these opposing forces is there. And the question is, and there is greed inside us, which is, let us call it wolf. And there is a lamb inside us, which is satisfied with a little bit of grass and green. What would I want to be? Do I want to be a wolf or a lamb? It is up to me. It is, again, that if I let the wolf wins, then I am asura. If I defeat the wolf and chase it away, then I am living free of fear. So, we all have inadequacies. It is not that everybody is deva, everybody is dharmic. People make wrong choices and wrong decisions. They suffer. So many people in the world do not believe in the existence of God. Because even small children, sometimes they say, who is God? You say he's revengeful, then you say he's good, you say you love God, you say he hates people. Which one is true? So God being revengeful as described by the 3 religions born in Asia Minor, that does not satisfy most of the people, because that philosophy or the underlined logic in the system, cosmic system, is not validated by these religions. Should they be despised and declared as sinning people or sinners? No. They have their own rights and they are born to fulfill their own destiny in their own way, as long as they maintain peace around themselves. We accept that one's own children, some are good and some are not good. They choose their own destiny. Should religious sects declare hell as their future abode? No, no. If anybody has seen hell, that person did not survive to come back and tell us, hey, this is how it looks like. So why bother? Why not make this earth free from hellish atmosphere? So these are some of the key points in Hindu Dharma. So self and karma, karma and reincarnation, and there are three kinds of karma. One which follow us as impressions from the previous birth, and one which we create good karmas for the next birth. And certain karmas are which we are bound to do or bound to suffer the effect of it because of different other forces not under our control. So though that is called prarabdha, which is called destiny also. So karma is action, is not just action. It is a continuum, a continuous chain of action and reaction, and it goes in a spiral kind of way. And the action happens, and then the reaction happens. Now that reaction unfolds in multiple ways, affecting different kind of people in different ways, and then the reaction to that, those people act in different. So this is kind of spiral of action, and that is what is samsara. We start some action, and it is endless reaction. So when we are reacting with each other or interacting with each other, all of this causation, moral causation, is called action and reaction, cause and effect. This is called karma. And we do not believe that if we pray a lot and whoever is God will be helping us or be merciful to us. At the same time, if we pray to God that don't be merciful to such and such person, and he will listen to us. This is height of pure nonsense. So the forces of karma are immutable. Immutable. Actually, there were 16th century philosophers. Not that I agree with all of their philosophy or various aspects, but some of those people did indicate that there are immutable forces of karma. Once the karma is done, there is no way you can go back in time and cancel that karma. That is what I mean by immutable forces of karma. So Hindu vision now, the self, and my vision, and my aspirations, they are around these different aspirations. My vision, my actions, my goals, my trust, and my behavior, social personality, they have to work. My vision is that they have to work around these aspirations. Shanti, peace, global humanism, the world as a family, which we call Vasudev Kutumbakam, which means also that a global humanism, that if one is part of the world is unhealthy and depressed, the rest of them will be affected because there is interconnectivity and there is also interdependence. Everybody knows that this is an open kind of fact. And aspiration is about around nonviolence and tolerance. You see, you don't tolerate people, different people. Tolerance is that, yes, you exist too. Hindus go beyond that. They are nonviolent and they are tolerant and they appreciate the diversity. And that is the reason India is one of those few places where for centuries and millennia, 9 different religions prospered, connected with each other, and created a composite culture. It is diverse, but at the same time, it is composite culture. So environmentalism, take care of the nature and environment and ecological balance and respect the diversity, appreciate it, and believe that all life is sacred, not just your own or your family's. Every life created by the divine, whether is small and all of these are sacred. So journey of the Atma is towards self-realization, and then there's a path to self-realization and liberation. And in this cycle of attaining evolution of consciousness and fulfilling our purpose and meaning to life, there are ways suggested in Hindu Dharma. And many of you must have heard about yoga, and that is a small book which is Patanjali wrote. It is Yoga Sutra, and it gives the path of liberation and how to end and how to attain moksha, liberation. So path to liberation through Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. And then there are following Dharma, Das Lakshanam, 10 signs of being dharmic, which I explained before. So we'll go through this in later stages for those people who are going to be taking other courses. And I guess this has been a long lesson. And there are a lot of things which are very relevant to how we grow up or raise our own children, how we react with the world in a peaceful and in a meaningful way. So this lesson has been very important because no other religion talks about self-reality. What is the self itself? Self is not something to be molded by a priest in a temple. Self is what you do to yourself. So thank you very much and good night.